So this is the Growing Faithful Families milestone for technically 6th grade. So how many of you guys are done with school yet already? You guys are done? You guys are done? You guys have like a week left? 4 days? Not that you're counting or anything, right? So we had actually originally had this scheduled for June when you all would have been done and officially 6th graders. But because of calendar stuff, we had to move it back. So this is upcoming 6th graders. So it's hard for you guys to think about that, right? That you're done with 5th grade. For a lot of you, how many of you this is going to be a switch like from elementary school to middle school? Yeah? You guys are keeping on because MLA goes up to 8th, right? But yeah, so for a lot of you, you're going to a new school next year. You're getting to the age where things are going to be a little bit different, right? So this is kind of, it's a milestone in your life. It's a change, right? So we're going to talk a little bit about that as we can grow in faith and work together and be honoring God through our lives. So let's open with a brief word of prayer. If you please pray with me. Holy God, who came into our world of conflict and showed us how we can honor you and each other, we give you thanks for the opportunity to gather to grow in faith together. We ask that you guide us as these families prepare to enter the teen years. Help our families establish and strengthen an atmosphere of honor and respect in their homes. Be with our youth and their parents, guiding them and leading them so that they will have no regrets as they look back on these years later. In Jesus' name, amen. So, you guys ever played with like a balloon where you like have to bat it up, pop it up? Is it, that's kind of the imagery we're starting with here, right? So when the idea then is you don't want the balloon to touch the floor, right? Because if a balloon touches the floor, it could potentially touch something sharp, it could pop, things can happen, right? So it's a game, right? And you can play it yourself, but if you're playing it in a group, sometimes it's easier. We work together. So when you are batting that balloon up, it's like your emotions are going high, going up, right? And when things are rough, it's like the balloon is coming down. You get that imagery? So the first thing I wanted to ask about is just the idea of when we're with other people, we do things that can lift each other up, and we can do things that let each other down. So can you guys think of any examples from the last 2 weeks or so? Anything that someone else did that lifted you up and made you feel better, made you feel good? And parents can weigh in on this too, by the way. It's not just for the kids. Anything that lifted you up that someone else did?
Probably, but I can't remember.
You can't remember? It's hard to remember back, right? It's still morning. It's still early, right? I've had people who send me a text message that says, hey, how you doing? Been thinking about you. Had people who, like my fiance sometimes will say, here, I got you something, and he'll bring me, his love language is food, so he always gives me food. It's like, we're going to go and find something yummy, and that always lifts me up. Can you guys think, what are something, or if you can't think of something specific, what are some examples of things people could do to lift you up?
Bring you a homemade baked goods.
Bring you homemade baked goods, yeah.
Make chicken Alfredo.
Make chicken Alfredo? Oh, Alfredo, my man. I love Alfredo sauce. Yeah. What are things that lift your mood, make you feel better?
Ice cream.
Ice cream?
Compliments.
Compliments? Did I hear someone say video games? Yeah. Warmer weather, sunlight.
Taking a walk.
Taking a walk, right? What about, so there are a lot of things that can raise our moods, right? What are some of the things that can let us down, make us feel worse? Not getting ice cream. All right.
Yes, we can get ice cream, and then it doesn't happen.
Not getting good food.
Not getting good food. So the idea sometimes to play off of Wyatt when someone says something but they don't do it. Even if they don't say, I'll promise we'll do this, even if they don't say the words, I promise, if they say something, the idea is that you'll do it, right? It can be a letdown if it doesn't happen then, right? Parents, when kids say, yes, I'll clean my room, or yes, I'll take out my trash, or yes, I did my homework, and then they didn't. Kids, when someone says, yes, we'll go to the park, or yes, we'll get ice cream, or yes, we'll do this or do that, and you don't get it, it kind of lets you down, right? It changes your mood. So what we're kind of talking about in this milestone is looking ahead. So the first thing on your little sheet, the first little faith, oh, hang on. That's right, I forgot about it. Does everybody know everybody? This is a fairly big group, so I'm thinking not. So I'm actually going to say, let's take a minute, go around, and just in like a minute, give me a moment, introduce your family, and actually we'll just leave it at that because we've got stuff to get through. So let's go around and just introduce our families. Would you guys mind going first?
Not at all. We're the Dixons. I'm Jessica. Scott, Grace, and Wyatt are twins.
Yeah. And then you have Clara, who's younger.
Yes, Claire's 4.
Yes. She's not 4.
Oh, yeah.
Holy smokes.
5 on the 4th of July.
She is extremely excited to be 5.
Can't.
When I'm 5, I'm gonna do this.
She's excited. Yeah, that's awesome.
Summer family, me, Brandon, Clayton's my youngest, and then Carter and Cooper are one room over.
Yeah.
Getting married this summer, so I'm adding 2 more, Mason and Cody.
Oh, awesome. Congratulations.
So,
That's awesome.
me, Brandon, you, Clayton.
Yeah. All right, let's jump to the back.
We're the leads, so Eric, we brought along Ian today, he came out with this weekend.
Hey, Ian.
And then we have Alyssa, who is a junior, and Ethan is just finished his freshman year for Duke. So.
Yeah, and this is Veronica.
And I'm Veronica.
Very good. Glad that you could join us, Ian. All right.
We're the Williams family, Cameron, Diana, Colton, and then we have Bryson, who's in 2nd grade going in 3rd. So he's at Sunday school now.
Very good.
I'm Anita, and this is Charlie, and he's got 2 older sisters right next door.
Yeah, next door.
Back in.
Yeah, I was like, one of
I
them's
do
probably
like
there.
that. I'm not
One's
sure.
in high
It's
school.
back
One's...
here somewhere.
They're both over there, I'm pretty sure.
So this is great. You guys have been in class with Miss Kathleen for most of this year, and I think Penny has filled in a couple of times, learning all about the Bible overview. You guys will be starting confirmation in the fall, which is weird to think about, right? You'll be starting.
Haven't we
that
already
next
started it?
You did the Bible overview was kind of a pre-confirmation. It's getting you ready, see how the Bible all fits together. And I did not grab your catechisms. I will have to do that later. So, parents, I know you probably don't want to think this far ahead. How long until high school is over? Yeah? About 7 years. Now that seems like a long time, right? 7 years seems like a long time, right?
It's not.
It's not, right? It goes by. I've been here for almost 7 years. It doesn't feel like I've been here that long. Right? 7 years is going to go by in a flash. And what are our ages right now? How many, are you guys all 11 at this point? Yeah? 11? Are there any 10-year-olds yet? Any 12-year-olds already? I was thinking this is the age that they're 11. This one is originally actually made for kids a little bit older, kids who are 12 or 13. But we decided to bring it down a little bit because it fits into our framework pretty nicely.
What about the parents?
We're not going to get into the parents' ages. They're adults. That's enough. But what are your thoughts on teenage years? What are some of the stereotypes you have of teenagers and their parents? What do we often hear about a lot?
Like bad things.
Like what? Yeah.
Drugs and
Okay, so you go
suicide.
straight away to the things that are illegal and deadly. Yeah, we definitely want to avoid that stuff. But even in a household where that doesn't come into play, we often hear about
Phones.
yes,
Phones.
arguing, fighting, phones sometimes getting in the way of our relationships. Now, we don't want you guys to get all the way to graduation. We recognized our seniors. You guys had, no. I was thinking the Gogline family. Wrong family. Yeah, you guys don't want to get to graduation and look back and say, what happened? You know, why can't I have a civil conversation with my high school student who's now going off to college? I don't want to leave high school with a broken relationship with my parents where I feel weird calling them. So this is sort of setting the tone, teaching you guys how you can move into the teen years. You guys are preteens now. As we move into the teen years, into middle school, into high school, how can we honor God? Because as Christians, we want to follow Jesus. We want to follow God. And how can we honor each other? And so this one's called Honoring God, Respecting Each Other. It's kind of what we had the name. The original name of this one is really funny. It's called A Teenage Home Where Everyone Wins and No One Kills Each Other. Is the original name of this one, and I thought it was funny.
I would agree to that.
Right?
Me and my
'Cause we-
sister can't be in the car all alone because we would kill each other.
And that's the sort of stuff that we want to kind of avoid, right? We want to be able to honor and respect each other. So that's kind of what we're going to be talking about today. So, common goal of the teen years. This is your first blank on your sheet. I think all parents could probably agree with this. Kids, I hope you could too. The common goal that we have is no regrets. You don't want to get to graduation and be regretting things. Do you guys need pens back there? You good? You got one here. You want another one? Nice. Not a great throw, but he made a good catch. So we want you to be able to get to graduation, or even at this point getting to the end of middle school. We want you to be able to look back and have happy memories and strong relationships in your family. We want you to be able to talk about God, talk about what's going on in your life, talk about the struggles that you're having. We don't want kids to be constantly rolling their eyes when dad tells them what to do or mom says do this or do that. You know, we want to cultivate this. Yeah, thanks. God bless you. So how do we do that? How do we cultivate? How do we make the teen years good years? How do we make it so we don't have regrets? And the idea that they're focusing on here is by creating an atmosphere of honor, is what they call it, an atmosphere of honor in your home. Now, what does that mean? That's a commitment on both sides. That's a commitment by parents and by kids that you're going to respect each other. And by doing this, by respecting each other, you're going to be showing honor for each other. You're also going to be showing honor for God, because God puts us in families. He's developed our families where we are living our lives together. Parents, you're raising your kids. You're bringing them up. You're teaching them what it means to be a responsible, mature adult. Kids, you've got your parents showing you what's what. I think you all have siblings at home, either older or younger. If they're older, you can learn from them. If they're younger, you get to teach them. What does it mean to honor God and respect each other, right? So, if anyone's got their Bible on the phone or wants to grab a Bible.
I have a Bible.
Perfect.
I have a Bible.
We're looking for Ephesians chapter 6. And it's actually, you can look it up in the Bible if you'd like to. You guys have been doing Bible study all year round. I also have it written on the paper. So if you want to look it up in your Bibles, you can. Or we've got it written right on the bottom of that page as well. I forgot that I put it down there to save time. So could someone read there Ephesians 6, 1 through 4 on the bottom of that page? You want to do it? Thanks, Grace.
Children, obey your parents in the Lord, for this is right. Honor your father and mother, which is the first commandment with a promise, that it may go well with you and that you may enjoy long life on the earth. Fathers, do not exasperate your children. Instead, bring them up in the training and instruction of the Lord.
Perfect. Thank you. All right, kids, what does this passage say to you? What are you supposed to do?
Obey your parents.
Obey your parents and
Obey God.
honor them. Honor and obey, right? Why? Why does the Bible say you should do that?
To keep a good relationship.
That is a good answer. What is the Bible saying, though? The Bible actually gives us a reason. Because God's telling it to you, too. That's also a good answer. Yeah?
That you may enjoy long life on the earth.
Yeah. It's the promise that the Bible mentions, that it may go well with you. What does it mean to go well with you?
It may go well.
It means go well. It means your life is good, right? So, the original Greek word that's translated obey in this verse Do you guys want to know what the emphasis for that word is?
Yes.
It's on listening. The original Greek word that's translated obey, it means obey specifically by listening, right? Now, any of you guys think that your parents might have a little bit of wisdom to share with you?
No.
No.
Yes.
Do they have more experience in life than you?
Yes. They do.
Right?
Probably like 40 years.
They are fulfilling their God-given vocation as your parents when they guide you, when they set boundaries, when they do things to protect you. That's what they do as parents. Right? All right, parents, your turn. So, now this one is calling out fathers specifically because in the time when this was written, fathers had absolute authority over their children. Things have changed a little bit, and mothers are kind of in that same role. So this is speaking to both of you. What's the Bible saying to you, parents?
Don't exasperate them.
Don't exasperate your kids. There's a big Scrabble word for you. What does exasperate mean?
Don't wear them out.
Don't wear them out. Don't rile them up. Yeah. Right? Don't frustrate them. Yeah, it means, you are the parent. It's your job as parents to be setting boundaries, to be making rules, to be teaching them and leading them. But don't intentionally set up rules that's only going to frustrate them and make their lives miserable, right? You're still the parent. You're still responsible for them. So it doesn't mean give them whatever they want. Kids, I don't want you to think that I'm saying your parents got to listen to you all the time, right? But remember to look at things from their point of view, right? Remember your calling as a parent, to raise them up to joyfully follow Christ, tying into that new guiding statement we have, right? That's your job as a parent. I don't think any of you are like, man, I really hope when my kids go off to college, they never set foot in a church again. Would anyone say that? You guys all want your kids to be following Christ as they grow older, right? And you guys are going to be a good way to make that happen by bringing these conversations into your homes. Alrighty. I'm actually going to split us up a little bit, and I'm going to say, let's see, we've got to split parents away from kids. So let's see. Kids, let's have the kids go over to this corner. Parents, you can sort of scoot around the table a little bit.
We need our paper.
If you want to remember the questions, you can have them. Now you guys won't need your chairs. You're not going to be here that long. Alright. So the questions that so you guys have two questions that I want you to be looking at, right? So I want you to talk about in a group. One thing I do. What's something that you do now? And then also think of your what would make your parents happy.
Is she running now? Are you supposed to do stuff over there?
You guys start talking about those two questions. Alright. Parents, you have a question too. What is one thing that your parents did for you during your teen years that you'd like to do for your child? So just take a couple of minutes to talk to your parents. Okay? What's something that your parents did for you during your teen years?
Like a positive, right?
Yes. That you would like to do for your child.
Just checking.
Well, there's probably plenty of those that were negative at the time, that really were positive in the long run.
Does it make more sense now as we're getting older? I know it does for me.
And then buying them ice cream.
Would bug them?
Curfews, maybe.
That would make them happy. Not listening to them, probably bug them, right?
Freedom of choice, going places, hanging out with
Are you
friends.
Where is it?
This is
Hearing me out,
let's
like
talk
even
about
if
right
it wasn't a
above
good
big
thing,
one
just at
two.
least listening to what I had to say.
Alright. Did anyone else think of anything?
I think you need to go check back on the parents.
I will go check in with the parents, alright? You guys can check. Good.
Yeah, I mean, I had a job.
Yeah, I do.
Sticking with a job. I know I wanted to quit a job within 2 days, and my dad was like, you got to put in 2 weeks and see how it goes. And I worked there for 2 years after that. I mean, it was just like, when first day on a job, it's different and it's hard and there's overwhelming, scares the crud out of you, nightmares on working a cash register, for heaven's sake. I mean, nothing. It's not the end of the world. It's a hurdle, but you got to get over it. You got to not step away so quick that you never really try and accomplish that.
My parents really helped me like communicate with adults and that, like tying into that, but like how to like say what I need to say in like overwhelming situations.
But like a politeness, like
Yeah,
teaching them to
be
say,
polite, but also
thank you, sir, thank you, ma'am. Not that that's
right.
necessary, maybe, but teaching respect, holding doors,
Right.
being polite.
But to have confidence to be able to
You guys have any
speak with my bosses and with my
Yeah.
teachers. To relate in an adult world that they're not always ready for.
So what would you say instead?
You have to like
I would
pick it
say
up.
existing and listening to them for the second one.
Okay, let's have a vote.
And not listening to them.
This is a discussion, not a
And
democracy.
not respecting them for the first one. Like respecting and honoring.
Awesome. Great. You guys can head back to your seats, all right? Thank you.
Oh, good.
Recruit one. I need to recruit
No.
one more girl.
There's another girl. Sorry, Grace.
All right, cool. So that first faith point, the first thing that we're highlighting here, again, is the thing that we're looking for, make the teen years great. How do you do that? By honoring each other. And for the second faith point, we're going to look a little bit more about what that means. The faith points are like the highlights, the things, the little tidbits that'll help you remember what we talked about. So the second faith point. Does anyone want to read what that second faith point is?
Create an atmosphere of honor.
Very good. Create an atmosphere of honor. So there was a skit that I was going to try to show, but the technology is not cooperating today, so I decided not to. I can share it. I'll see if I can get Sydney to put it in an email for you. It was a funny little video clip showing what it means to honor someone from 2 points of view. The father's point of view and the son's point of view. It is funny because it is over the top. It is kind of ridiculous. The father is like they're driving home from this event, and the father's like honoring each other. Yeah, it'd be nice if I could get some honor around here, you know. And so they get home, and then the son is, greatest father, what can I do for you? Let me get the door for you. Here, I would love it if you would let me clean the garage and mow the lawn. And can I get you a drink, father? You know, honor father. It was funny, but that's from the father's point of view what it could potentially look like if his son was honoring him. Can you guys guess what the second part was?
Oh, not killing somebody in Fortnite.
The second part was, what does it look like from honor from the son's perspective? And the father becomes very subservient. Oh, here, son. You sit in my chair here. Let me put your feet up for you. Would you like a snack? Let me get you a snack. I'll get you a snack. He starts walking away. Father, I can't reach the remote, which is like 2 feet away. Oh, I'm so sorry, sir. Here you go. It was funny. And it shows that sometimes we have very different perspectives on what it looks like to honor each other, right? So what does it mean to honor someone? The next blank that you have, I'm curious, how would you fill in that blank? What does it mean to honor someone?
Respect
To respect and fear. All right. You're all ready for
Respect and
confirmation.
love. Respect and love.
Respect and love, revere. There are a lot of options there, right? Anyone else want to put anything in there? What does it mean to honor? We've heard from the kids. What do the parents say?
I know I'll always remember one speech I heard from Dolly Parton.
Okay.
And she said, she grew up Christian, and she said that this part of the commandments always hit home with her because she read it as what does it mean to honor someone, and it's to make them proud of you. And that will always stick in my head, that it's, yes, you've got to follow the rules and some things like that, but you want them to be proud of you. You want to do things that make them look good too, because you know you were raised right, you were
especially from a parent's perspective. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And that one always hits home. So I think it's to make them
proud of you.
Proud of you.
That's awesome. Thanks, Anita. Anyone else want to weigh in on that? Another perspective maybe on what it means to honor someone? So I found there's this definition that we kind of wanted to highlight, kind of similar to a couple of these options. Honoring in one way is putting the interest of someone else ahead of my own. Putting the interest of someone else ahead of my own. Right? So they ask you to think about this in banking terms. Does anyone have a history or an experience in the finance world and in banking
Yes,
world?
I do.
You do?
Stock
Yeah.
market club.
Stock market club. There you go. So you do. Good. So you guys can probably answer this. So a healthy bank account, there are two things that you do to a bank account, right? You do deposits and you do withdrawals. What are deposits?
Or when you put money in.
Yeah? When you put money in. What's a withdrawal? Yeah? When you take money out, right? So a healthy bank account is going to have more of what?
More deposits.
More deposits, right? More deposits, or at least higher numbers of deposits in terms of value than withdrawals, right? So if you put more in than you take out, we use colors, right? You're in the
Green.
Oh, you could do green. They use black usually in the banking world. If you take out more than you put in, then you're in the red, right? So when we think about relationships in terms of banking terms, what would a deposit be? Deposit would be when we honor other people, right? So what are some examples of a deposit for someone else?
Giving them a gift.
Giving them gifts. That can be a deposit. Sometimes kind words can be a deposit. Helping them, yeah, whether they ask for it or not sometimes. Blessing, serving, helping, being kind, all of these things are deposits. Sometimes spending time with each other, just giving them your time can be a deposit, right? How about withdrawals? What would withdrawals look like in a relationship?
Like pulling their honor of you towards you more than you're putting it towards them.
Explain a little bit more for me.
So like you're honoring them less than they're honoring you.
Gotcha. Right. So there's an imbalance in the relationship, right?
Being selfish.
Being selfish.
Losing trust.
Losing trust. So being mistrustful or distrustful. Being disrespectful is a withdrawal. You know, making your parents not proud of you. Frustrated with you. Getting in trouble. Like, I know I'm gonna kind of put Kathleen's family on the spot a little bit here. Her kids, she knows what they're capable of in school, and whatever that number is, if they're not living up to what she knows they're capable of, then she gets very frustrated with them. It's like, I know you can do this better. Right? So, you don't want to run your account with the other person, with your parent, with your child, with your sibling, with your friend, whoever it is. You don't want to run your account into the red. So it's important to make as many deposits as possible. You know, not just like, oh, it's Mother's Day, I should give mom a card. Or it's their birthday, I guess I'll give them a special treat. You know, other times too, right? So how do we get, okay, here we go. Another point. The reason why you want to make as many deposits as possible is that withdrawals will happen. We live in a broken world, right? We live in a world where there's going to be conflict, there's going to be problems, and you don't want to run your account into the red when those things happen. So you want to have enough of a balance, enough of a strong enough relationship that when those challenging times come, it doesn't put you into a negative balance. So, parents, how do we get in the black with our kids? What are some things that you can do?
Have patience.
Have patience with them, right?
Listen to them.
Listen to them. That's important, right? Because you want them to listen to you, but it's important that that's reciprocal. Yeah.
Spend one-on-one time.
One-on-one time with them, yeah. Which I know is especially challenging when you've got, multiple kids. Yeah. Give your kids a little bit more freedom. They're getting to the age where they're starting to get to that point where they can be responsible about things, right? Now, this comes with a caveat, right? Freedom comes when you've built trust, right? So it's not like, oh, well, I've never left you before, so I'm going to go away for a week. You're on your own. Good luck. Have fun. It's like that's too much freedom, right? But start looking for those opportunities to give them those little doses of freedom. Invest in what they're interested in, whether it's video games or stock market or scouts or whatever it is. Invest in what they're interested in, right? Show up to their games. Talk about the movies and the books they're reading, right? All right, kids. How about you? How can you make deposits with your parents? Get in the black with your parents.
Give them gifts.
Give them gifts, right? With the allowance that they give you.
Respect them. Respect them.
Respect them.
They really want to do something with you, which knows I don't want to do this, you still do it anyways.
Right. Let them, spend time with them as well, right?
Do what they tell you.
Do what they tell you. All right. So this will happen. Classic teenager thing. Mom or dad, you get your kids, you get home from school, mom or dad says, "How was your day?" It's fine.
Focus on the good parts.
Now, did you answer their question?
Yes.
Yes.
Very well.
But tell them about your world. Tell them about what's happening. How are your classes going at school? Are there subjects you're struggling with? Are there subjects that you really enjoy? Did something cool happen? Who are your friends? Is there someone that you kind of have a crush on? Your parents want to be part of your world, so share that with them, right? That's making a deposit into that relationship. And then you've already hit the nail on the head with showing respect to them, right? That's a big one. So, and this goes both ways too. That's a both. Be honest, show respect. Another one, kids. Parents, you're gonna like this one. Do what you're told the first time. And we're gonna talk a little bit later if there are times when you're like, I'm in the middle of something, I don't want to do it this moment. We'll talk about that in a moment. All right. So, banking terms, deposits and withdrawals. I already did that one. Cool. So, now we get to tying this back into, because this idea of deposits in people's lives, withdrawals from people's lives, that applies whether you're in the church or not, right? But there was a quote from the original videos, which we'll share if you want to go back and watch them. It says, it's impossible to honor somebody else without a relationship with Jesus Christ. Any thoughts on that? It's impossible to honor someone else without a personal relationship with Jesus Christ. Without Jesus in our lives, what does the world say? It's all about me. Life's all about me. The world revolves around me. What I like, what I want, my future, my life, right? But with Jesus empowers us to look outside of ourselves and consider the interests of others. So, life isn't just about us anymore. It's about Jesus and about honoring Jesus by honoring one another. And that's why I love what you shared about honoring is making someone proud. Now, do we have to earn God's favor? No. But if we realize what God has given us, do we want to make Jesus proud with the way we live? I hope so. So our lives can honor Jesus by the way we honor other people. So we've got another Bible passage here. I love this passage of Philippians. This is talking about, Paul is writing to the church of Philippi about what it means to honor other people. Can someone read those couple verses from Philippians 2 for me, please? Go for it.
Do nothing from selfish ambition or conceit, but in humility count others more significant than yourselves. Let each of you look not only to his own interests, but also to the interests of others. Have this mind among yourselves, which is yours in Christ Jesus, who, though he was
in the form of God, did not count equality with God a thing to be grasped, but emptied himself by taking the form of a servant, being born in the likeness of man, and being found in human form. He humbled himself to become obedient to the point of death, even death on a cross.
All right. So, kind of already gave this one little blank. When we live without Jesus, who's it all about?
Us.
It's all about me, right? But through the Holy Spirit, we are empowered to, can anyone guess what that other blank would be? Honor, very good. Honor others. So the last couple verses of that passage from Philippians, it's actually written like a hymn stanza, and a lot of scholars think that it was essentially a song that they sang, reflecting on Jesus' example of honoring others. So if Jesus, who is literally God above everyone else, was willing to become a servant and wash the stinky feet of his disciples and submit to dying on the cross, if he didn't think he was too good for that, should we think that we're too good to do anything? Nah, right? So, this is a family units discussion, and you're mostly in family units, so it'll just mean turning to each other. Just take a moment or two, talk about what it would look like in your family. How would you like your child or your parent to honor you? There's a couple of lists there of ideas, but you can also add your own. So kids, you've got that first list. You've got that, choose maybe 2 of those. It's like, this would be meaningful for me. Parents, you've got a list as well. What would it look like? And I'm actually, for the sake of time, I'm going to encourage you to do that conversation actually at home, maybe this afternoon. Talk about it. What would it look like? We have different languages of love and respect and things that mean different things to us. So think about what it would look like from you. What would be a way that people could make a deposit into your life? All right, think about that, and then talk about it this afternoon, okay? So, because I want to make sure we get through these things. All right. So that last quote I had is at the very end of that faith point. Life isn't about us anymore. It's about Jesus and honoring him by honoring one another. So, any other questions or comments on that second little faith point? All right. Third one. This is the reason why I wanted to give us a little bit of time. Conflict will come. Right? Any of you question that that's true?
Nope.
All right. We live in a world where that just happens, right? So, it's often seen as inherently bad, right? Conflict equals bad things, equals withdrawal. But it doesn't have to be that way. If a conflict is handled with honor, it can even become a deposit. When you honor and respect each other and show that you're listening to the other person and you're able to find a solution that matches everybody's needs, as long as you show respect for each other, you can even make conflict into something that is a deposit in your life. So how do you do that, right? It doesn't have to be withdrawal. It can be a deposit. First, listen with honor. Right? That's that first one. Listen with honor. Means let the other person share their thoughts completely before you jump in and share your piece.
Listenings aren't spelled with the same letters.
They are, yes. So when you listen, you should be silent, right? And that means in your brain, right? Like even if your mouth is quiet, make sure your brain isn't saying, oh, I know what I'm going to say in response to this when it's my turn to talk. Actually be listening to the other person. There are a lot of videos and suggestions on how you can do active listening, which means you're repeating things back, making sure that you actually heard it correctly, giving them a chance to correct something if you misheard it. So listen with honor is the first one. Second one is the other side of that. Speaking. Yeah, speaking with honor. The way you say something is just as important as what you say. Like, Okay versus okay. Or okay. You see how I said the same word 3 times, but it means different things, right? How you say something is just as important as what you say, the words you say.
I totally have no clue what you're talking about.
Yeah?
Totally.
I'm calling shenanigans on that one. So have you ever had the thing where your parents or your teacher or someone says, you need to apologize, and you go, sorry. Is that a meaningful apology? No. Even though you said the word, the meaning wasn't there, right? So what you say matters just as much as how you say it. All right. Last one is what I want to we'll spend the rest of the time on. It's called the wise appeal. Have any of you ever heard of that? The wise appeal.
I thought you were going to say the wise appeal.
Yeah. The wise appeal. So what is the wise appeal? Did I not put it in there? Shoot, I didn't put it in there, did I? Well, it's on one of these other pages. Here it is. I'll pass this one out. This is the wise appeal.
I'm guessing it's you, the wise appeal.
I was not anticipating this big of a group, so I might have to run extra copies. But make sure that everyone can at least see one of these. We might do this as a group. All right. So the wise appeal. This is a way for you to, with honor and respect, express that you disagree and an appeal to find common ground. So it starts off by saying, I understand, thank you, I understand that you want me to fill in the blank because what? Right? Why is that because there? Why is that because an important part of the first step?
So you know why you're doing something?
Yeah. It's not just, I know you want me to clean my room, Mom. It's like, okay, well, why do I want you to clean your room? It's expressing that you've heard them. Not only what they want you to do, but why they want you to do it. So you're starting from a point that says, I hear you. I understand what you want me to do, and I understand why. So you start by saying, I understand that you want me to clean my room because
it's messy.
It's really messy, and there's stuff all over the floor, and things are going to get lost. Fill in the blanks, right? Second step, now you get to talk. I have a problem with that because this gives them a chance to talk to you and listen to you. I understand that. I have a problem with that because, I know where everything is in my room, and it's comfortable for me, and it stresses me out when things are too neat. That would flip me out crazy. I have to have a neat room. But not everyone's like that. And then you get to the third part, which is when you're making your appeal. And this is where you try to find common ground that works for everybody. A respectful request. Would you mind if I clean my room tomorrow instead? Or would you mind if I finish playing this game for another maybe 10 minutes till I find a save point, and then I'll clean my room or take out the trash or whatever it is, right? So what's the first step?
Say, I understand.
And why? What's the purpose of the first step?
So that they know, that you were listening to them.
Right. You are expressing that I heard you and I understand what you're asking me to do and why. What's the second step? You're explaining what the problem you have, right? And again, in a respectful way, right? And what's the third step? Negotiation. Yes, I like it. Yeah. Asking in a respectful way, right? So we have these cups, and we were going to do this in family groups, but because of time, I think we're just going to do this as a group. So does someone want to be brave? And you want to try it? All right. All right, Wyatt. So what you're going to do is you're going to pick one of these slips, and you are going to make a wise appeal based on what's on this slip. All right?
I didn't even know what we were doing.
Right.
What's a group walk-in at church?
Yeah. Oh, you'll be able to do that next year. It's like an overnight, sleep overnight, hang out all night, stay up all night with the church with your
So
friends.
do I read this out loud?
You can if you'd like to, but then we're going to have you make a wise appeal
Okay.
based on it.
Your parents have informed you that your family is going to Grandma's house on Friday night. There's also a youth group walking at church. Make a wise appeal.
So the conflict here is you want to go to the
I
lock-in.
understand
Your
that-
parents want you to go to visit grandma.
I understand that you want me, or I understand that we.
I understand you want me to.
I understand that you want me to go to Grandma's house on Friday because.
And that's not written on there. This is where you have to think about yeah. This is, yeah. Why would your parents want you to go visit grandma? Ooh, that's actually a good addition. Grace has a good idea. You want to add that to that one?
You might not get to see them.
No,
That's a good answer.
because we don't see them very often. I have a problem with that because there's also a youth group walking at church on Friday night. May I please go, or may I please, can I switch that up a tiny bit?
Yeah, go ahead.
Will it be possible that I could go after the lock-in on Friday night?
Okay. So that's not a bad idea, right? It's like maybe we can both win. Maybe I can visit grandma and then go to the lock-in after, right? So that's pretty good, right? You instead of saying no, I don't want to, and getting in a huff and just making it a fight, right? Anyone else want to try one? You want to try one? Yeah, if you want to. All right, you can go next, Charlie. I'll let you start looking. All right. You want to go too? Yeah. Yeah. I got one more.
Come on,
You want to try it, Eric? All right. And then we can come up with our own.
Oh, I kind of don't want to do this.
You don't want to do that?
We're doing this one.
I've already read it.
Good one.
All right. Who's ready? Who wants to try theirs out?
Doesn't make sense.
So you want this. Your mom says this.
Yeah.
So how do you make a wise appeal based on that? Yeah. It's like a math story problem.
Doesn't make sense.
Well, too bad.
My limit is.
Yeah, they're kind of opposite order on that one. Yeah.
What does mom want you to do?
Doesn't make any
No,
sense.
stop.
You're good.
What does mom want you to do when you're choosing?
Something that's less than
Come on.
50, right? So basically the first one is the second bullet point. What do you got, Charlie? Okay.
So read that out loud, because maybe you'll get suggestions.
That's
from
true.
other
Yeah,
people
we can do it
how
that
you
way.
could do that better. So read this part out loud, and then you try to do the I understand you want me to.
Or don't want me to.
Yeah,
You can change it
exactly,
too, right?
Exactly. So read that part out loud. You might get suggestions from your friends.
You want to spend the night at your friend's house. Your parents say no because they don't know your friend's parents and how you would be supervised, or whether you would be supervised at all. Make a wise appeal.
So
That's a hard one.
yeah. So I understand.
You don't want me to go to my friend's house because you don't know their parents at all.
Very good.
I have a problem with that because I haven't gone to a friend's house in like a year.
Good.
May I please have him come over to our house instead first, so you can meet his parents?
Yeah, that's a very good common ground. Yeah. Yeah. Can anyone think of an alternative to any of those? Either that or to Wyatt's? Yeah.
Call him or give him a phone number.
Call him so you can talk to his parents. That'd be another way to handle that one. Good. Right. Good. Anyone else? You ready to go?
Park or something.
Or meet at a park first? All right. Eric or Clayton? Or actually, you know, I think we're actually kind of wrapped. We got to wrap it up. So I'm actually going to say the others are kind of, you get out of it. So to wrap things up, if you guys want to practice these, you guys can take a cup home. 1, 2. Yeah, you can.
A green cup.
Yeah, I mean they're all the same. They're all the same things that you had there. It was supposed to be a set per family. So yeah, just put it in there. So if you guys want to practice the Wise Appeal at home, you can take a cup that's got all 5 of the sample scenarios. Going forward, so parents, bring your A game in honoring your kids, make deposits in their lives so that when they go off to college or whatever comes after high school, they actually want to talk to you, you know, build that relationship, focus on that. Parents, or youth, kids, honor and appreciate your parents. You have someone cooking your food, doing your laundry, trucking you around to all your activities. That's not going to last forever. Enjoy that while you've had it. Or while you have
I'll be
it.
driving myself.
Yeah. Honor your parents. And this applies, we've been focusing on the parent-child relationship today, right? But who else what other relationships does this apply to?
Teachers, friends.
Teachers, friends.
Principals, which is also my dad.
Siblings, maybe. Relationships once you get older, it applies there too. Right? Very good. So a couple things I want to give you. I'm not going to take time to read it now, but there is with the original title on here, I didn't change it because I thought it was funny. This is a covenant. The one side for the parent, one side for the teen, talking about committing to developing this atmosphere of honor and respect in your homes, committing to it. So this is
copies.
Yeah, I mean, I want to make sure we got one per kid, but if there's extra copies,
Never mind, I'll copy it at home.
Yeah. But yeah, absolutely. You know, your older kids, your younger kids, you can bring this along with it as well. So I'm gonna pass those around.
I'll take one more copy.
All right. Let me see. Also they have little devotions that go with each one of these faith points called God Talk at Home. So I'm going to give every family a copy of this as well. So these are 3 different little devotions that you can just do at home sometime. Alrighty, let me see. The other piece I have, I love this one. I wish that they'd given this sooner than this group. They give you little advice on making your own family devotions. Because it's one thing to say, yes, you should do family devotions. Yeah, I agree with that. But it's like, I don't know where to start. How do I do this? So this is a little layout that you can use for developing family devotions at home if you don't already have something in place. There are lots of books, there are lots of resources available online. Find what works for your family. But this is a good little layout to maybe get you started. So I'm going to pass those around as well. Does anyone have any final comments or questions?
Max Lucado is a really good,
He does have a lot of good stuff for family things. Other things is the church has one copy of these. This is the You Talk, I Listen cards. And it's just the opportunity to share your answers on different questions that they have. The church has one copy. You're welcome to look at these. We wanted to stay at the church because we use these for other things as well. If you like them, You can buy them from Kids Count Publishing, which is the people who make them out. They're just
Okay.
there's a set of cards that talk about, you know, all sorts of different topics, like what thing have you prayed the most about in the last month and what happened? Favorite summer activity that I did with my parents is this. So it gets into lots of different topics, talks about God, talks about memories, talks about what do you think about different topics. So it's a nice little set of cards that facilitates relationship building in your homes. So, and everyone has a little scripture verse on the bottom of it too that kind of ties in, I think. So that's a cool thing. But the object that we are giving for this milestone is your catechism, though, that you're going to be using in the fall. We decided that we wanted to give it to you now so you can kind of get familiar with it over the summer. So you can follow me up front and I can give you that, or catch me after the second service for those of you who are still here. All right, we will wrap with a prayer because then we got to get going. So thank you guys so much for coming. But let's pray. Heavenly Father, once again, we thank you so much for these faithful families who've come to learn what it means to have an atmosphere of honor in our homes, an atmosphere of honor that honors each other, honors parents, honors children, honors siblings, honors every relationship. Most importantly, relationships that honor you. You've placed us in these families to grow and learn and live together. We'd ask that you would be with us, be with our families as they work on building up their relationships, building each other up, growing and leaning on you through all the conflicts that life might throw. Be with us throughout this week and throughout our lives. In Jesus' name, amen.